Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another match reaction video. Smash the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0. Where do we begin with that? Another pathetic, abject, lifeless, lackluster performance. We played for the 0-0. We didn't once look like we wanted to win that game. We didn't once look like we tried to win that game. And truth be told, one of the most boring games of football I think I've ever watched. Both teams really uninspiring. And in fairness to Arsenal, they didn't have to really do much because we offered absolutely nothing, zero goal threat. And so they didn't really even need to get out of the first few gears. I mean, they barely did anything either. And yeah, it kind of just sums up where we are right now. No goals in the team, no ideas, passive football. And Maresca has got a lot of questions to answer. Look, of course, no Palmer, no Jackson, no Madueke, missing our three top scorers. That is going to have an impact on the game. Now, if we have those three players, I'm not saying we win, but we certainly play a lot better. There's absolutely no denying it. We definitely play better with those guys in the team. We didn't really defend that badly today. We just had nothing, absolutely nothing. Nkunku and Sancho are an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace. Two guys that have been stinking the place out for weeks on end. And once again, both starting in a big game. Why? Why? I get it. Palmer's out. Tyreek George should be starting ahead of one of those two players. There's literally no excuses for that. Maresca bottled that. Didn't have the guts to go for a decision like that. It's not even a difficult decision. It's not even a brave decision. He didn't have the guts to go for it. And we have to say it how it is. Played for Finer at right back, fine. It wasn't too bad. James in the midfield was okay, but we just had nothing going forwards. Toothless in attack. We're sending the ball long, expecting Neto to hold it up like he's prime Drogba. What are we doing? What's the plan there? What's the idea there? Because I'm not understanding it. I am not understanding it at all. What was the plan today? So somebody please tell me what the plan was for today's game. Because all I'm seeing with the plan was to sit tight and play for a 0-0. We created nothing. Our biggest attacking threat is Cucurella. And that's a damning indictment on Neto, on Sancho, on Nkunku. Our biggest attacking threat is a left back. And then you got Mikel Arteta gaslighting us after the game, like what Pep does, saying that Chelsea are the best attacking team in the league by a mile. Brother, we had 0.35 XG or something, or 0.35 XG, our lowest in a long time. And we've got Arteta out here rubbing it in, saying we're one of the best attacking teams in the Premier League. Spare me that nonsense. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. And you've got Newcastle out here winning the Carabao Cup as well. Passion the Newcastle players have got. Squad's got a connection with the fans. We don't have these things. We don't have it. Newcastle are everything we should be. And we're miles off. We're miles off. We're absolutely miles off. Everything we aren't. They're not complaining about having key players out. They play as a team. They're physical. They get stuck in. They don't make excuses. And the only reason we're above them is because they played the cup final today and they won a trophy. So Newcastle have now won a trophy before us under this ownership. Just wake me up when this shit's over, because this football is turgid. I've said it before, it's results over performances, but this is the worst football to watch if you are not getting the results. It is absolutely dire. It is so bad to watch. And the manager, yes, of course the manager takes responsibility, and people will be on to me, oh, why are you not criticizing the manager more? Well, do you know what? Yeah, he could have done better today. He should have started George, fine. But realistically, right, with the personnel available, what else could he have done? What else were people expecting? Because this game went exactly as I expected it to go. Two sides with no goals in them, decided by a set piece, which was pathetic marking from Reece James and Nkunku. We need to get our players back, of course we do. And we're lucky We're lucky that we're still fourth because of Newcastle playing in a cup final, because Man City are equally as trash as us right now. Look, the attention should be on Maresca, some of it. And I'm not saying Maresca's an amazing head coach. I'm not saying he's going to be the guy. But I also think blaming literally absolutely everything on him is a lazy argument, because the next guy that comes in, if it is a next guy, will more than likely be suffering with the same issues, you know. And before it's on Maresca, it's on the directors, it's on the way that the squad's been put together. You know, that's the reality of it. That's the reality of it, you know. And I'm sitting there half time and, you know, I'm thinking, well, what can we actually do to change this? You know, yeah, you could say put Lavia on, but how are we scoring a goal? People say, you know, we switch the system up. Switching the system up is irrelevant. You've still got the same personnel. You've still got the same personnel on the team that don't score any goals. So what's the solution here? What is the solution? The manager's not blameless, but solely blaming everything on the manager is a lazy argument. You know, we are where we're at because, one, we're not that good. Secondly, the squad is horribly misbalanced and got gaping holes in it. And we play crap football right now. That's the reality of the situation. But the recruitment and those above the manager are more to blame for the manager right now. You know, that's my opinion on it. People can disagree, no problem. But Badia Shield was okay today. Sanchez made one good save, but again, he looked very shaky at the start, giving the ball away, his usual bollocks. Yeah, it's just really uninspiring, isn't it? I'm just so glad we aren't playing for 17 days. Just don't have to think about this anymore. It's just becoming really unenjoyable. Really unenjoyable. You know, from the final 9 games, we probably need 5 or 6 wins for Champions League football. Where are those 5 or 6 wins coming from? I don't know. We've got to do something we cannot do, which is beat a decent side, which is beat a decent team at football. Again, the wait goes on. Still haven't. We're winless in our last 7 away games. We haven't beaten a top 4 side, traditional top 4: Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Liverpool. We haven't beaten a top side of those away from home since 2021. It's going to go on 4 years. Unforgivable, inexcusable. You know, this is where we're at right now, and yeah, it was just highly disappointing, but totally expected. Which I don't know if that makes it better or that makes it worse. But I didn't see anything today that I didn't expect to see today. You know, it's poor, and you see Maresca and Timber shaking hands and stuff and laughing on the sidelines. It's like, guys, what are we doing here? You know, this is the weak mentality we're talking about. Weak mentality from manager, from players. You know, and then Maresca comes out and says things after the game, and it's just like, mate, you're just lying to us. It's just blatant gaslighting. You know, he's either watching he's clearly watching a different game. You know, he thinks we're idiots. You know, and he thinks that we can't see how crap we are. The manager's comments are insulting. It's insulting to fans' intelligence. We were dreadful today. Absolutely dreadful. Players being played out of position again. I know there's a lack of options, but players being played out of position. I'm not the biggest Pochettino fan, but Pochettino was crucified for playing players out of position. Make of it what you will. Make of it what you will. You know, no proper striker, lack of height to which again is an issue. And yeah, we've been terrible. Saying to some of the guys outside the ground, you know, that like I can't remember the last time I went to a Chelsea game and enjoyed it. Yeah, we've got some wins, which is great, and you know, I'm happy that we win. But I can't remember the last time I went to a Chelsea game and actually enjoyed the game as well as the result. Probably Tottenham away. Since the turn of the year, we've been shocking. Absolutely dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Got Arsenal out here openly mocking us. You know, before we'd used to paper over cracks by winning trophies. Now, if we do scrape fourth or fifth, the worst thing is the club are going to think we're heading in the right direction. We're 20, what, how many? Be 20 odd points behind Liverpool. The only number that should matter is how many points are off the top of the table. 20, over 20 points behind Liverpool. Directors won't go in the summer. They won't. You know, we've committed £60 million to 2 new signings this week. They're not going anywhere. The directors are doing what's being asked of them from the ownership. Yeah, lifeless, turgid, no ideas. This is Maresca's Chelsea right now. This is Chelsea right now. Can this change? I hope so. The players coming back. That's all we can hope for. The players coming back are going to make a difference. But right now, I can't see where another win comes from. I really can't. And that is a worrying, worrying thing. But yeah, the less said about today, the better. The less said, the better. You know, whatever team goes out there, though, you've got to look like you're there to fight for the badge and have a plan B to change the game. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's no excuses today. Yeah, we're missing players, but the players we had on the pitch were better, could serve up better than what we saw. Second best all over the pitch today. Arsenal barely had to get going. Didn't even need to be good to beat us comfortably. Yeah. Football's just crap now, isn't it? Really shit right now. Really shit. But yeah, there we go. That's my thoughts, guys. Smash the likes, subscribe, all that good stuff. Up the Chelsea. Catch you again in another one soon. We're out. Peace.